Hi, my name is Peyton Higgins, and I dedicate this poem to my dad. Faith, problem solver, acceptance. These attributes all describe my dad. Father of four, husband, friend, and just an amazing person. Things weren't always easy for James Higgins, though. Having experienced divorce a year earlier, receiving custody of his 3 kids, all while in EMT school, he persevered. Day after day after day, just silence. Then suddenly, bam! The once silent as a mouse apartment now sounded like a zoo with a million animals. Studying became more and more difficult. He never knew if he could stay in school. But then he thought, if I leave, who will I benefit? So he kept pushing. His job put food on the table, a roof over our heads, and clothing on our bodies. Just to make a better life for his kids, he worked overtime. He was doing all of these things, but he stayed determined. He was going to complete school and give his kids the best life he could. He kept pushing on and on, the end of his school drawing closer, and before he knew it, it was over. My dad was finally getting his life under control. He wasn't as tired anymore. He loved his new life. Seeing his kids every day was like riding a roller coaster. He loved it. Now he is living in a house that is our safety zone. Living with his new wife, Laura Beth Higgins, all with a new little boy. Like Christopher Reeves once said, I'm not living the life I thought I would lead, but it does have meaning, purpose. There is love, there is joy, there is laughter. James Higgins didn't lead the life he thought he would, but as long as there was love, laughter, and he lived. Thank you, Dad, for showing me to be brave and stay strong, to push for what I believe in. If it was not for your hard work, I don't know where I'd be today. Once again, thank you.
Hi, my name is Layla Cannon, and I dedicate this poem to my mother. Optimistic, problem solver, flexible. These are attributes that convey to my mother, Jimmy Baker, a wonderful mother and lady. A strong mother that had a hard time going through a tough relationship that was going downhill really fast. My father was a great man, but he had eyes for another woman. When I was 6, my dad and mom were fighting like cats and dogs in their room, and it would never go away. Once I turned 7, my dad barked to me that he was moving away to another state, North Carolina. After my dad left, my mom was hopping mad, and she was paying for only 2 people on one income 5 days a week, after week after week. But sometimes she had to call it a day and just stop working. She had to make enough money to buy me clothes, food, and keeping herself on track as well is very hard for her. Keeping herself on track, overwhelmed, stressed, and frustrated, but what kept her going was someone depending on her. She was making a little money, but she had to watch what she was buying so she could pay bills. 1, is it necessary? 2, can I afford it? 3, does my daughter need anything? And 4, can I buy this and still have plenty of money to pay my bills? These are things that my mom thought about while going through this. She always helps me with my homework. My mom is a calculator that walks and talks to help me whenever it's needed. Now, an opportunity came knocking on my mom's door and gave her more money, and now she has more money to do more fun things with me. Now, as Confucius said, our greatest glory is not in never failing, but in rising every time we fall. I'm thankful for my mother, and I always being there for me and taking care of me just the way I am. I don't tell you this often, but I love you. Also, you are inspiring, independent, and irreplaceable. I wouldn't be here without you. You have inspired me, and I wish to become just like you, Mother. Thank you.
My name is Katie Heffernan, and I'm dedicating this poem to my father. Faith, problem solver, and purpose. 3 words to describe my father. John Heffernan had 2 back surgeries after a giant piece of tile dropped on his back. Crash. After a tile man hard at work every day to put food on our tables and a roof over our heads, we loved my dad and still do. After having the tile dropped on his back, it made it more difficult for him to do his job, but he pulled through for himself and his family. If it was not for his hard work and dedication to his job, I have no idea where I would be right now. Like Albert Einstein said, life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Thank you for not giving up on us. Thank you for pulling through for us. And most of all, thank you for caring. Remember that you are a problem solver and that you always have a purpose in life. Life is like a fire. It goes down at times, but it always sparks back up. I love you.
Hi, my name is Nicholas Homer, and I'm dedicating this to my mom, Amanda Homer. Cancer. Pain sent Amanda Homer a message. Something was not right. A hospital visit revealed the dreaded word. Boom. Cancer. Now my mom had to be resilient, facing tough times. Multiple surgeries, chemotherapy, radiation, all of these led to feeling horrible. She was sick, she was tired, she was depressed and defeated. She wanted to quit. It hurt. Her body was in pain. As Winston Churchill once said, we shall draw from the heart of suffering itself the means of inspiration and survival. The thought of her family kept her going. The thought of her family made her fight. The thought of her family helped her keep her sense of humor. She remembered to laugh. Our family remained strong for my mom. Her friends were a solid rock. People from her work lifted her up. My mom stayed bright. She remembered to look at the good things in her life. She didn't look at the downside. She remembered all the things to fight for. My mom is well now. She completed treatment and did amazing. Even though at times she felt like she was about to burst, she stayed as cool as a cucumber. She stayed calm. She remained positive, not letting the stress weigh her down. Thank you, Mom, for inspiring me and to never give up and to never let myself down and always looking at the bright side. Amanda Homer, I love you.
My name is Elizabeth Houston, and I am dedicating this poem to my grandma. Abuse. That's what Dorothy Moscop had to deal with for years and years and years. She couldn't escape, for she loved her pets too much to let them go. She was scared and trapped like a cat in a cage. Eventually the years piled up. 30. That's how many there were. And something happened. She got sick with her flu, and with her current condition, it affected her 1,000,000 times worse. She was in a hospital for what seemed to be forever, making my mom worried sick, and I inferred that wasn't a good thing. But she improved. She found a house and was finally happy. She no longer was trapped inside in a cage. She finally won the lottery of happiness. As Tina Turner once said, if you're unhappy with anything in your life, get rid of it. Even if it was raining cats and dogs, she could still be happy. She is a survivor. She had always kept her faith, and she always had a sense of humor. Thank you, Grandma Dorothy, for inspiring me that there was a light at the end of the tunnel.
Hello, my name is Ty Jenkins, and I dedicate this poem to Ted Cunningham. Initiative, faith, and morals. That is what it took Ted Cunningham to get through his career struggles. He was getting settled in as a pastor in a church new to him. Step down, whack, the word slapped him in the face. Just as he was getting used to a new church, the old pastor was coming back and wanted his job back. Pastor Ted declined to step down. Step down, they asked again. Step down. Months of being asked the same question over and over again. Step down and let him take his job back. So he resigned. He could have called it quits right then. Instead, when Ted left the church, he was not sure how he would do it, but he knew what he would do. He was going to start a church. Time passed. Months. He struggled to make the right decisions. God was there the entire time, helping him and guiding him. He had unresolved anger towards the other church. His unresolved anger was him drinking poison and expecting the church to get sick. He was drinking this poison, gallons of it. He was burying his anger dead rather than alive. He had to make the decision to resolve his anger so it wouldn't affect his family, friends, and future church. He prayed and prayed and prayed. Then, with help, he managed to open a church. And his church was like a plant, started small, then grew, and grew, and grew, and keeps on growing today. Like Abe Lincoln once said, we can complain because bushes have thorns, or we can rejoice because rose bushes have roses. He kept his eyes ahead, and instead of being upset about what happened, he made the best of it. Thank you, Pastor Ted. You have taught me a lot. That you should never let critics and negative voices become your inner voice. You should never bury your anger dead, and that the Lord has plans for you.
is Cooper Kowalski, and I dedicate this poem to my father. Resilient, strong, and a survivor. All of these words describe my dad. My dad was sent out to fight in Iraq, and just like Fearless Warrior, he didn't even think about it. He knew he needed to try his best to help, and so he did. While in Iraq, there were many days when he thought about the people he left behind to come to the war, and tried his hardest to help in any way possible. Every day my dad was away from family, it was very difficult. Some days would feel like weeks, weeks would feel like months, months would feel like years. But he knew what he was doing was right. He also knew that what he was doing was not only right, but would be successful. As the Wright brothers said, I know the price of success, dedication, hard work, and an unremitting devotion. Once he came back and gave his best in the war, he came back to his family to reconnect with his family. So I would like to thank you, Dad, for everything you've done from the bottom of my heart.
Hello, my name is Grace Larimore. I am dedicating this poem to my mom. Dyslexia. Being dyslexic is like a hammer. They're not easy to pick back up and keep on going. Lori Larimore had to go through being dyslexic every day, over and over again. Bam, you kept on going. It gets harder every time to pick the hammer up, but that still doesn't stop you. You had to go through a lot of years knowing that you didn't understand any of your assignments. Bam, the hammer hit harder, making it harder to handle. Looking over at your friends doing their work, the teacher telling you to keep your eyes on your own paper, even when the teacher tells your parents that you don't understand, you still had held your head high. You didn't let adversity overcome you. You had the ability to stay optimistic. You had acceptance. Even though you got held back, it got hard. Tear after tear dripping down your face. Those few years felt like a million years, walking a million steps to get to the destination. But as Wilma Mankiller once said, the secret to success is to never, never give up. Just like that, you took that hammer and you dropped it. You went so far, and you were an honor roll. Mom, you have inspired me so much to stay strong and know that when life gets hard, you don't give up. Being dyslexic is a pounding hammer to the ground over and over again. But just like you, Mom, I have decided to stay strong.
Hi, my name is Sammy Babe, and I dedicate this poem to my cousin. Acceptance, strong social support system, purpose. Life may send you down curvy roads and harsh times, but no matter what, you need to stay positive and have faith that things will get better. Life can be lacking some love, but you have to remember there's a purpose for everything life throws at you, and bam, your whole life could be changed. Growing up and becoming a parent at the age of 18, Jara Shaw was scared and nervous. She was an actor entering a stage, yet always knew she had a big responsibility and could not let it go to waste. She stayed in school and lived with her aunt. Although she was young and didn't know much about life, she still knew that she had to do what she had to do. Whenever she went through struggles in life, she went to her aunt and grandparents for help. She taught me that even when you are going through rough times and feel like giving up, you always have people you can go to, even if they are not right by your side at the moment. Walt Disney once said, "All the adversity I've had in my life, all my troubles and obstacles have strengthened me. You may not realize it when it happens, but a kick in the teeth may be the best thing for you." Thank you times a billion for showing me that even when you are going through hard times, you can always get through it like a wildfire being put out. Her life was the sun trying to peek through the darkness.
Hello, I'm Keegan Madura. I dedicate this poem to my dad. Resourceful, faithful, strong social support system. Attributes that helped my dad to stay strong. Born in Indiana, Kenneth Andrew Madura was a blessing for his parents. He and his family moved to Branson in 7th grade. Here he received a good education in nursing school. Later, he decides to go back to school for a bachelor's degree. This was hard for him as he had to go to school with all of the stress and have to work full time. His family missed him. Some nights he wouldn't get home until late.